Mm. Hey everybody. So I know it's 10, but we'll wait a little bit, just like usual, see who's here, see who shows up.
Good morning, Professor.
Nasreen, I'm gonna mute you just because the wind is really loud on your phone. Got it. Thanks, Fazia. I'm glad because the people who are here weren't here yesterday, which is good because I do want to talk a little bit about the the dates and assignments and all that stuff that I recorded yesterday. Miss Amira.
Hello, good morning, dear professor.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Professor.
Hey, Farah.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How are you?
Thank God. I hear that. I'm so sorry for your mom. She's doing well right now?
She's okay. You know, she's been sick for many, many years. It's just that because I'm the one who does most of the work to help take care of my mom, because I'm not married and I don't have children, my schedule got really crazy. So I had to ask my brother and sister, and I had to ask for some help so that I,
Oh my God.
so that I had
You
time
fast go to get married.
to do my well, we'll see. You know, you gotta have someone to take care of mom. So but I'm okay. Thank you for asking for that. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, dear professor, I hope your mom will be fine.
Thank you. Like I said, it's hard.
How old your mom?
She's only 63.
Oh, she's young.
She's young. Yeah.
She's been sick for 16 years though, so.
She has MS?
Yeah, not MS. Yeah, but she does have an autoimmune illness. So yeah, so it's not MS, but it's in that family.
Good morning, everyone.
I'm so
Come here.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, thanks, Farah. It's kind of just normal life now, you know. It's just it's different with illness. There's this word.
I know that.
I'll put it in the chat.
Because I'm familiar for this problem.
Right. So there's that word chronic. Chronic just means something that lasts a long time. So chronic illness is, you guys know, it's just such a strange part of human life. But you know, a lot of people have it and have that experience. So it just goes up and down. That's the hard thing. You kind of never know when it's going to be down. So.
Exactly.
But we're all doing our best. So like I said to all of you guys, I said to people yesterday, thank you for your patience, and I'm doing my best. And
Yeah, I know. But every day, usually, I'm in the morning time, afternoon, I'm checking my email, but I couldn't see your email yesterday. Exactly at 8 o'clock, 8:30, I'm looking for my email. Okay, but you send it at 9:30, yes? You send it.
I think so. That sounds right.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. Okay, it doesn't matter because I'm here all of your voice for other children.
In the video.
They're the student. Yeah, it was.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Yeah, it was very good to us.
Good. Yeah. Very. I know it's that end of the summer, end of the semester. So it's like, oh my God, what is due? When is it due? And I know that's super important. So I'll talk a little bit more about that this morning, and then answer questions. And I want to show you guys and talk to you about how to revise Major Writing Project 2. Just show you some examples and then answer questions about cause and effect. But a lot of people seem comfortable with cause and effect, and one reason I like to teach cause and effect is, you know, you can find lots of examples online. So, so I think some people like this genre a little bit more.
Yeah, in the morning time, I'll read that for my compliment for last summary.
Yeah.
Sensitive and summary, but yeah, I'm learned it was okay after the corrected and send it again with you.
Yes, and that's what we're going to talk about today. For not just Farah, but for anybody who's listening, right? The biggest thing for Major Writing Project 2 was just how to make sure you're connecting your audience, the idea of your audience and why they will like these places in your summary paragraph. So a lot of people sort of had that note. But since Farah's talking, Farah, could you hear my voice comment? Were you able to hear the?
Two or three times I hear that. Oh, I get it. Okay.
I tried not to talk too fast, but
no. It was perfect. It was perfect.
That's something. It's
it was easy to.
A new way for me to give you guys feedback, so that's good. Good, we got a lot of people here already. So like I said, we'll wait. We got 10 students. We'll wait at least 3 or 4 more minutes and get started at about 10:10.
Mhm.
Cool. Anybody else have questions or ideas or anybody? You guys are good, chilling.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
They are very good at
Hey, Professor, good morning.
Yes, what's up?
Just I have a question. So, can I talk to you after the class, like for 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Because just I have a question. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's usually what I've been doing on Fridays is if you have a personal question or question about just your own work, yeah, for sure. Hang out after class.
so I will be waiting.
Hey, Parwana.
Excuse me. I'm so
Hi,
sorry.
Professor. Hi, everyone.
Next
Good
time.
morning.
Sure, Farah, what's up?
Okay. Excuse me, Professor. In the before, I'm going to your class, but I'm read that for the okay, which the comment in the 17 maybe or 18. No, 17 for Edison for the light.
Yes.
How the light? Okay. After they read that, is that the summary? Yes, sir.
That's cause and effect.
The cause and effect.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's correct. But
Yeah.
exactly that's the summary for the cause and effect. But yeah, okay.
Let's see. I'm going to open up I have the document saved here.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. After they read these, the whole of the sentence and figure out, okay, which part is that the thesis, which part is that the conclusion, and the paragraph, the part of the how many paragraph, everything.
Right.
I'm looking for after, but it's not very easy. As long as I writing exactly the same summary or summary is a little bit is difficult.
I'm sorry. I accidentally muted you, Farah. I'm so sorry. You can unmute yourself. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Sorry, Farah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I did. Excuse me, sir. I did or you did?
I did on accident.
You accident. Yeah.
So the only thing I think I understand what you're saying. The only thing I'm unclear about is this idea of summary. Now, this isn't really a summary, right? This is an example of cause and effect, the structure of cause and effect. So you're exactly correct. We do have 5 paragraphs, right? We have our introduction paragraph here. We have our conclusion here. And,
yes.
And you know, what we can always predict is where's the thesis in any college writing. And like I keep saying, even in a 10-page paper for your psychology class in the future, your thesis is always the last sentence of the introduction. So your thesis statement here, scientists have also identified harmful effects, proving that even the greatest achievements often bring unexpected side effects. So let's talk about this. Let's look at this example later because I want to go into more detail. I do want to talk about an example of cause and effect, but I don't want to start talking and then talk too much. Do you have a specific question about like?
No, the general for this.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this one later. The only thing I want to say is I know that I tried to say this in the video yesterday too, some of the language, some of the vocabulary is a little bit advanced, and that's okay. I don't want you to feel too stressed about having to understand every single vocabulary word, but I do think what I'm trying to show you is even if some of the language is difficult, the structure, whether it's low, intermediate, high, advanced, whatever level, it doesn't matter. The structure of this type of genre is the same, right? In this example, 5 paragraphs, focus on cause or focus on effects, introduction, thesis, 3 body paragraphs, and then a conclusion. all of that's the same. So whatever topic you choose, and whether you talk about causes or effects, that you will get to choose, right? But this idea of the structure of the genre is the same pretty much all the time. So that's what I really wanted to show you with some of these examples in the textbook, and then this example as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll talk more about it. We'll talk more about it after we talk about Major Writing Project 2.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I see Kadisha's here and Lailuma's here.
Hi,
Keith's
Professor. How are you
here.
doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
How's your mom? Thank you so much.
She's okay. Thank you for asking. She's
Hello,
okay.
good morning, sir.
Hey, Zabi. Hey, Lailuma.
Hi, Professor. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you so much. How are you?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Professor.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Ivan. Good to see who else is here. I saw Fazi already. Samira, I saw you. Zabi and Parwana. Good to see you guys. Cool. So Farah said that she could hear my audio comment. Could you guys hear my audio comments for Major Writing? Okay,
Yes,
good.
Professor, I hear that.
Good. Okay, good.
Yes, I also got it.
Good. Okay, good. Like I said, I've done that only 1 or 2 times before, so I think it's usually clear for you guys where to find it, but that's good. That's good.
And also I send it back to you, Professor.
I saw how fast you are. Yeah, I have not graded it yet, but I did see that. Yeah.
Excuse me, Professor. You
Excuse
write.
me, Professor.
Sure. How about, yeah, Zabi and then Farah. Yeah, Zabi, what's up?
Just I have a problem in it's a submission. I think there was confusion for you. I submit like my essay first, summary and synthesis project. First, I send it to Canvas, to my Canvas. Then I was not log out, and the Parwana sent back her essay from the same computer to my Canvas. And you didn't see in my essay. And when she know that she submitted her essay to my account, she then log in back and she resubmit to her account. And you didn't check my essay.
Okay, we can look at if it's kind of like I was saying to Nasreen, if you have individual questions, if you can, hang out with me at the end of class. We can look at it. We can look at your stuff one-on-one. We could talk more about it at the end.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank
Excuse
you.
me, Professor.
Yeah, hold on, Khadija. Farah had a question, and then I'll go to you, Khadija. Farah, what's up?
Excuse me. How many theses we have in the topic?
Oh,
Because you have the 5 paragraph.
yes.
Yes. Could you please show me in the highlight how many theses I couldn't find, because I figure out and find it just 3 of them.
1. You have 1 thesis.
No, 1 thesis. Yes.
In your thesis, so this is what gets really hard, right? We could talk about how to write a good thesis. Honestly, you could do 4 weeks about how to write different thesis statements, right? This is what I was trying to say, and why genre, the idea of genre, which you guys all got, I know you understand that idea, is so important, because different type of writing will have different types of thesis statements, okay? Now that gets tricky. How do I write a good thesis for this type of writing? Okay, that's difficult. But how many thesis statements? 1. So there's going to be one place in your essay at the beginning, right, where you say, it's like a sign to the reader saying, this is what this paper will say. This is what I'm going to write about. So that's your 1 thesis. Now, in your thesis, you might say 3 different things, right? You might talk about the topics for your body paragraphs. So for example, we'll talk about this more, but again, in the example of Thomas Edison, right? So this is the example from the textbook that I posted in one of the lessons. So this is talking about the light bulb, right? So few inventions have changed the world as dramatically. So dramatically means in a big way, in an important way, as Thomas Alva Edison's light bulb. With the flip of a switch, he turned darkness into light, thus revolutionizing, changing people's lives. All the effects of the light bulb have been overwhelmingly positive. Overwhelmingly just means like very, very, very positive.
Very positive, yes.
Scientists have also identified some of its harmful, negative effects, proving that even the greatest achievements often bring with them unexpected side effects that offset their advantages. So this, in this example essay, this is a cause and effect essay. What's the main idea here? What's this thesis saying?
Yeah, because, okay, you explained just the 5 paragraph. Yes, you have one of them is that the light is that important for everybody because the light, everything in the darkness, in the night, and after the switch on, the lighted all of the darkness area, for example, and we have a perfect. There you go.
Well, so there's a few things. I forget who asked. I forget if it was Samira or Lailuma. I forget. Last time someone asked, okay, can you talk about 2 positive effects and 1 negative effect? Or can you present sort of more than one different idea in your thesis? And I said, yes, the answer is yes. It's just a little more complicated or a little more difficult. And this is an example of something that's a little bit more complex, right? So it's not just super simple, but the idea is still going to be clear. So you have almost sort of 3 parts of this thesis, right? So one part says, while the effects of the light bulb have been overwhelmingly positive. Okay, so here the writer is saying, okay, there's some really positive effects, right? Then we also have scientists have also identified some harmful effects. Okay, now the author is saying, oh, okay, I'm also going to talk about some of the negative effects, but still effects, right? So even this is consistent. This stays the same. The author is saying, I'm going to talk about the effects of the light bulb, right? And then they sort of not summarize, but they sort of like end this idea of in their thesis with proving that even the greatest achievements often bring with them unexpected side effects that offset their advantages. So I'm mentioning this author is sort of saying, so it's both good and bad, right? So there's positive effects and negative effects. And that is kind of the argument. Like, I don't know if that's an argument this author's making, but it kind of feels like an argument, right? If they wanted to write a paper about how everything that the light bulb, like basically to say the light bulb is totally an amazing invention, it's only positive, then they could have listed 3 effects that were all positive. If they wanted to argue that the light bulb was negative, had a negative impact, they could do that too, but that wouldn't fit this thesis, right? This thesis is very clearly to say there's some good effects and bad effects. Does that make sense?
Yes, it is. Yes,
so if you say, now we also saw an example in the textbook where, well, a lot of these examples are a little bit more of the like complex, but if you wanted to make an argument, so I think a lot of students already have this idea about pollution, right? And this is a very popular essay. If you Google cause and effect essay, a lot of examples online of cause and effect for the environment, right? So if you wanted to say, you know, there are 3 negative effects of pollution, then in your thesis, you might say there are many negative effects of pollution, including poisoned water.
Poisoned water, yeah.
Rising air temperature, too much garbage in the ocean. I don't know, right? But so in your thesis, you could list 3 specific things, 3 specific negative things, if you were going to say, you know, that they were all negative effects. So that'd be one way to do a thesis statement. This is another way in this example to do a thesis statement. So that's what I mean about you'll only have one thesis statement in any essay, in any research paper, one thesis statement, but how you write that thesis statement, what type of ideas you want in that thesis statement, that can change depending on the type of essay you want to write.
I understand perfectly. Thank
Oh,
you
good.
so much.
Yeah,
Perfect.
of course, of course.
Yeah, Professor, this kind of thesis statement is very hard, and I had some troubling with the assignment 17 last night, so I couldn't find the thesis. It was too hard for me.
Does what I, so that, thank you for saying that, Luma. Does this make sense, what I just explained to Farah, sort of?
Yes.
And again, that's why I promise, I know that when I, at 50 level, I think sometimes students get scared, or like when I, how can I say this? I think a lot of teachers, I think a lot of ESL teachers want to show students like one way to do things and say like, this is the one way. And I understand, because that's feels easier and it feels less scary, right? But when you, if you're gonna go to 315, if you take my 325 class, if you take English 300, you're gonna see there's a lot of different ways to do this. So like I said many times, my dream is not that you understand every type of writing and you do it perfectly. At W50, that's not the most important. What is important is that you start to see different examples, you start to practice different ways of doing this, so that when you go take 315 in the fall, when you take 325 with me in the spring, you're ready, right? You don't need to learn, oh, wait, like there's different types of thesis statements. You already know that, and we can just start practicing the different types. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, Professor. And also, these statements also come in the first paragraph, in the introduction paragraph.
Exactly. Almost all, like I said, the thesis will always come at the end of your introduction. Now, usually for us, even in 325, you guys, your introduction is probably only 1 or 2 paragraphs long. But I know some of you guys have graduate degrees from home, right? So if you went to university, or if you have a graduate degree, you know, right? An introduction, if you're introducing a big paper or a big topic, you might have 1 or 2 or 3 pages in your introduction to introduce all of the different ideas, if you have a paper that's that long. But even if you have a long paper, let's say your introduction is 3 pages, almost always, the thesis is still going to come at the end of your introduction, whether that's 1 paragraph, 1 page, 2 pages, whatever. So for us in ESL, before you go to 325, before you go to your ECE classes or whatever, the thesis, I do think it's a good rule to think. The thesis should be the last sentence of the introduction paragraph.
Yes.
That is where I want you to be looking. Look for the thesis there. And when you write, put your thesis there. For I think almost all of you did this for Major Writing Project 2. You did this.
Yes.
And do it for Writing Project 3 as well. More practice for that.
Excuse me, Professor.
Did I hear Kadisha's voice?
My questions about the cause and effect introduction part. Should we write some cause and effect the introduction part too, or we should just introduce something then go to the thesis statements that go to the cause and effect, the body paragraph?
Yes,
Is it necessary to put the introduction part cause and effect too?
Yes, I want to just show you an example, because I think I know what you're talking about. Light pollution and oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
They sound upset. So so this is one example of a more complex thesis statement. This is like I was saying to Farah, right? So here's part 1 of the thesis saying, oh, there's positive effects. Part 2 saying, oh, there's negative effects.
Negative.
And then kind of the main argument saying, you know, what this author is sort of saying, hey, what I'm going to argue is there's positive and negative effects to the light bulb. So if here could be a different example, same topic, but a different example thesis statement, right? So how about if this author had said, there are many negative effects of the light bulb, including light pollution, environmental harm, and psychological effects on human beings. I think this is sort of what Khadija was saying, which is, if you have a thesis statement like this, you're clearly telling the reader, okay, I'm going to talk about negative effects, And then you're also telling the reader what those negative effects are. So negative effect number 1 is light pollution. A negative effect number 2 would be environmental damage or harm. And number 3 would be psychological effects. So I think like Khadija was saying, then paragraph, I would assume when I see this as the reader and the teacher, I think, okay, body paragraph number 1 is going to be about light pollution. And that paragraph will be all about the negative effects of the light bulb from light pollution. Body paragraph number 2 will be all about environmental harm. Body paragraph number 3 will be all about the psychological effects on human beings.
There you go. This is my question again, exactly this one.
That's what you're getting at, Farah?
Perfect. It
Yeah.
was exactly, yeah.
And we can do the same thing.
There are many positive and light. Okay, that's correct. Including increased activity. There are many positive and light, including positive.
So in the thesis, we just mentioned the title of each body paragraph.
Yeah, I think instead of title, the only thing I'm going to disagree is you're sort of telling me what the topic sentence for your body paragraphs are going to be, right? Because if you say light pollution, environmental harm, psychological effects, exactly, I'm going to think, this is just sort of how college writing works. And I'm so trained, I'm so used to it, that I would think, okay, great. So like this student's going to have a topic sentence in one paragraph about light pollution, another topic sentence in the next body paragraph about the environmental harm, and another topic sentence about psychological effects. And I just want to show another example of a possible thesis statement for this topic. There are many positive effects from the light bulb. Okay, now we're going to read a paper about the positive effects of the light bulb, including increased productivity. Okay, one body paragraph, one topic sentence will be about productivity. Better quality of life. Okay, a paragraph about quality of life. And a more safe society. Okay, then we are going to have a topic sentence about safety, right? So I'm so happy because Mir, Farah, Khadija, all of you are starting to really see, I think, the connection between the structure and what you write. And this is really, really important. If this is the only thing you learn from this class, you guys, then you are so much more prepared for 315 and 325, because what you put in that introduction paragraph, even if your grammar is perfect, if you don't follow this structure, then the reader, especially once you leave ESL classes, the reader is going to feel like, what are you saying? What's the point, right? Like, what are you trying to say with this writing? But when you have organized your writing like this, you're following this structure, you're following this genre. And again, it's what the reader is used to. It's sort of what the reader expects from this genre. So yes, to Mir's question, my short answer is yes. My long answer is I'm just going to change the word you used to topic sentences. These are telling me, okay, but one body paragraph will be about productivity, which means that one topic sentence will be about productivity.
So Professor, we have to mention, or we have to write in the thesis sentence, at the end of thesis sentence, each body paragraph, like the name, like as you mentioned there. For example, there are, we mentioned in the thesis sentence, there are several pollutions like this. But we have to mention the name of the pollution also in the thesis sentence, or we just write in each paragraph.
Yeah, such a good question, Mir. I wish I could tell you like the one answer that was always true, but it's kind of like it depends, right? In this example, which is a great example, right? Hopefully, like I said, this is kind of an advanced essay, advanced academic language. So in this example, which is clearly a great example of cause and effect writing, they didn't list the specific advantages or disadvantages, right? They're sort of presenting a paper where the argument is that there are positive and negative effects. And they're saying, proving even the greatest achievements bring with them unexpected side effects, right? Hold on one second, I need to change something. I'm trying to color code this and do it live. There we go. Okay, so I'll actually, this is good that we're doing this now. I will I will upload this version of it.
Mhm.
I want to show you sort of how the thesis connects to the structure of this essay, right? And we're
Mhm.
kind of going now. We're just kind of in for cause and effect. So I'll work backwards. But if you see my essay here, right? I'm
Mhm.
saying if we kind of code these things by color, in the thesis statement, we get one idea. This is all one sentence still, right? But one idea about positive, right? One idea about harmful. And
Mhm.
this author is sort of, instead of making a paper where they're sort of saying, I'm going to list 3 positive effects, I'm going to list 3 negative effects, which you can do. I want to be very clear for you guys, right? Like, you don't have to write an essay like this. This is a different example. You can just write a paper saying there are many negative effects of pollution. 3 negative effects are 1, 2, 3. That is totally fine. But I do want you to see a different example of this genre. Instead of listing 3 effects, this author, remember we talked about it when I introduced cause and effect writing, they are making an argument, right? Like I was sort of saying, you can present information to the reader. That's one purpose for this type of writing. Another purpose for cause and effect is to make an argument. This author is arguing that even the greatest achievements bring with them unexpected side effects that offset their advantages. Now that's, if you go read about the impact of the light bulb, you're not gonna, that's not a fact, right? Like this is the author's opinion. This is the author's idea. So the way that the author is showing this to us is, if I'm gonna say yellow is positive, here we have a topic sentence. One of the most positive of the light bulb's accomplishments is that it allowed people to expand their lives into the dark hours of night. So see how in this topic sentence, I made this yellow because it connects back to this idea in the thesis, right? This idea in the thesis is about positive. So idea of positive effects. Okay, great. This paragraph is about positive effects. Now let's look just at the topic sentences. Nonetheless is just a transition word, right? And nonetheless basically means however. It is important to acknowledge the negative consequences of the light bulb, including a phenomenon that the scientists term light pollution. Now here we said up in the thesis statement, green would be this idea of harmful effects. And here we have a topic sentence talking about harmful effects, right? And now we get a specific idea, light pollution. This is like, I think sort of Mir was asking. Now, light pollution isn't up in the thesis statement. So here, this is an example where the student, the writer, didn't put this specific idea of light pollution in the thesis, but this idea of negative consequences is in the thesis, right? So yeah, so I'm not telling you you have to do this one way or another, but I do want you to see that even though light pollution isn't in the thesis, this topic sentence is 100% connected back up to the thesis because the author introduced the idea of harmful effects. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, stop me and let's talk about it, because this is an important idea. So if you're like, Jeff, what are you talking about? Stop me so we can talk about it.
No. Okay, that's my idea. It was perfect.
Well, Fada's always optimistic, but if anyone is confused, raise your hand, yell at me, stop me. Otherwise, I'll just keep going.
Excuse me, Professor.
Sure, Fada.
So we have to write exactly like this essay.
No.
Of course, it depends on topic.
Yes, of course it depends on the topic. So I just want to, let's do this as an example. Actually,
because my topic is close to your topic right now.
Got it. Okay, let me finish looking at how the thesis connects to topic sentences, and then we'll look at an example. I'll sort of come up with an example together. So second body paragraph, we have a topic sentence. That topic sentence introduces the idea of light pollution and connects back up here to this idea of harmful effects from the thesis statement, right? Third body paragraph, another unintended consequence of the light bulb is a phenomenon. Phenomenon just means a thing that happens, referred to as switch psychology. So again, switch psychology, that's not in the thesis statement, but unintended consequence. Unintended means we didn't know it would happen. We didn't expect it would happen. It's something that happened because of the light bulb. This idea, this topic sentence, I'm gonna say, is definitely connected back to the thesis because it's a harmful effect, right? It's a negative effect. So if we have a thesis like this, some good things in yellow, some bad things in green. Here's a topic sentence about the good.
Dermatology. This message is for BB. We are just.
Bye-bye. Here's a topic sentence about negative effects. Here's another topic sentence about negative effects. Now, what this author does in the conclusion, like I was saying, the purpose of this essay is to make an argument. So this idea of proving even the greatest achievements have unexpected side effects, that's here. This author really saves that for the conclusion, right?
Mhm.
We get this. The achievement with the light bulb deserves celebration. At the same time, we must be careful to recognize some of its unintended consequences. And then this author really ends with the argument, many lasting innovations, so new creations, new ideas, have contributed to humanity's advancement, yet these innovations can also be the cause of unintended results, and we must strive. Strive means academic word for try. Mitigate means limit or lower, make smaller these consequences to take full advantage of their benefits. So this is one.
What does it mean, the mitigate?
Mitigate means lessen, make it lower. If I say I want to right now in the pandemic, right? You hear these words a lot. People need to mitigate risk. That means to make risk as low as possible. How do you mitigate risk? How do you mitigate the risk of getting the virus? Wear a mask, right? Social distance. So mitigate means make it less, make the chance less.
Mm.
Yeah. Good academic vocab. And if you read the news in English, I promise you'll see virus mitigation, how to mitigate the spread of the virus. This is a word that we're hearing in the news all the time right now. Yeah, did I hear Khadija?
Professor, I wrote my thesis like this. There are three reasons that people move from one country to another country. Can we say instead of cause, reason?
Sure, yeah. 3 reasons that cause people to.
Mm-hmm.
Great, okay, so this is an example of, now, okay, so this is perfect. Okay, so Mira was asking this question, Farah was asking this question. So I want to ask everybody, there are 3 major reasons that cause people to move to new countries. This is great, this is a great beginning. Now, here's my question. If you're going to write a thesis like this, do you need to tell me those 3 reasons in the thesis statement?
Professor, can I share my screen with you?
No, not right now. I want to finish this idea, Mir.
Yes, we need Professor, I think.
Thank you, Lailuma. Thank you, someone. Now, this is important. If you're going to have a thesis statement that you're basically saying good or bad, positive or negative, then in the thesis, you need to tell me what they are. So there are 3 reasons that cause people to move to new countries, period. That's like a C, right? In terms of grade, I'd say that's a C thesis statement because, okay, I know you're going to tell me positive, but you're not, but you need to be more specific. You need to tell me what the causes are. So what are those causes, Khadija? Do you have them? Do you know
Yes,
them?
yes. One of them job opportunity. The next one is education opportunity. The third one, safer life.
Live better.
And freedom.
I love it. Now, great. Now, topic sentence 1, 2, and 3, these are going to be your body paragraphs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Great. So what's this topic sentence going to be about?
Job opportunity.
Job opportunity.
Thank you. And what's this one going to be about?
Educational opportunity.
Great. And this one?
Creating a safer life.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right? So you can, this, I think for us in W50, right? This is the way that I presented this to you, I think previously in the other PowerPoint where I talked about the structure. This, when we're just learning this genre, is a really nice way to start practicing this genre. But the only thing I'll just say it again is make sure that in your thesis statement, if you say there are negative effects or there are many causes, that's good, that's a good start. but we need to start practicing. And you've heard me say this so many times in your notes and your papers, is more specific, be more specific, be more specific. This is like college writing in the US is we're just obsessed with being specific. So you need to be as specific as possible and list those reasons, those causes. And this, by the way, this, like as a nice little outline for yourself, this makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense. Yep. Does that make sense, Khadija?
Yes, thank you, Professor.
Mir, I want to go back to you. Do you have a question, or you still want to share, or what's your idea?
Oh, it was like the same, but I want to share like two kind of thesis statement. So I mean, I want to share this, that this is good, or
can you just tell me? I'll write it down for you.
Yes. Can I share that screen?
You really want to share, huh? I will allow it. Hold on, let me see. I might have to.
Yeah.
Advanced sharing settings. All participants who can start sharing. Okay, go for it, Mir. You should be able to do it now.
Yeah. So this one. Which one is good? So I usually write the second one. These two thesis statements, both of them is the same, but just different structure.
Got it. There are many sources of pollution, and each one has its own effect on the environment and living organisms. This article will discuss the effects of several kinds of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, and land and soil pollution. Air pollution, water pollution, land and soil pollution. Okay, I'm going to look at the next one. There are many sources of pollution, and each one has its own effect on the environment and living organisms. This article will the effects of several kinds of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, land and soil pollution. Many sources of pollution.
So I usually use the second structure, but now you said that.
This article will discuss the effects of several different kinds of pollution. I think here's my first idea when I look at this is, this might be too big of an idea, because you're saying this article will discuss the effects of several kinds of pollution. And then, like I was just saying, my example, I would say in your thesis, then you should tell me what those effects are, right? Like you should say one effect of air pollution is asthma, or people can't breathe or something, right? But right now you have 3 types of pollution, and you need to talk about the effect, at least one effect of all 3 types of pollution. So
yeah, I explained in the essay that like in asthma, like another, but just this is I mean, this is good, the structure of the thesis. So just a question is this.
I think right now as a thesis, this is not specific enough. This article will discuss the effects of air pollution, water pollution, land and soil pollution. Okay, that's where you're telling me what the topic is, but you're not really making an argument yet. You're not really saying what those effects are, right? Like in oh, I can't show you my screen, but like in Khadija's example, it wasn't just there are 3 reasons people immigrate. Okay, what are they, right?
Yeah, affect air pollution, affect water pollution, affect land and soil pollution. Just this.
I guess, I mean, like for me, when I see this, I think this article will discuss 3 effects of air pollution. And then you have paragraphs about, 1 paragraph about asthma, 1 paragraph about, you know, like, I just think this might be too many ideas, because right now your thesis seems too general. It doesn't seem specific enough.
You mean I have to mention in bullet point each of the
no bullet points, no numbers, no lists, no bullet points in this job. Remember.
There you go.
Excuse me, Professor?
Because of this.
Sure, Lailuma, and then I'll go back to you, Mir. Lailuma, tell me, what do you think?
My topic is a little bit like this. So I wrote like this. So the human population is increasing, and it has so many negative effects on the earth, including like air pollution, environmental pollution, and water pollution. Does it make sense or not?
Great. Yeah. I'm gonna, Mir, I'm gonna share my screen again. I'm gonna keep using your example though, Mir. Thank you for sharing your work, which is amazing. So Lailuma, you were saying, I know these weren't your words, but what were the other one? Air pollution?
Environmental pollution.
Okay, air pollution, air and environmental pollution are kind of the same.
So do I need to change one of my thesis? Because I wrote this.
Environmental pollution. What are your three things? Environmental pollution.
Water pollution, air pollution. So I wrote these three.
Yeah. Okay, including air, water, and what?
Environmental pollution.
Yeah. I think air, water, and environmental air and water pollution are environmental pollution. So this doesn't, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel different enough for me. Air, water, and soil. So maybe this is the same. People saw examples or stuff like this online, but there are many effects of growing human population, including air, water, and soil pollution. Love it. Okay, now that is specific. The thing, I'm going to go back to Mir's example.
Yeah, Professor, just I shared the thesis statement, but I can't, I didn't share my introduction. If you want, I can share my introduction.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I
appreciate environmental.
No, I appreciate you offering, but I want to keep. Yeah, I want to. Hold on 1 second. Environmental pollution. Of the environmental pollution, air pollution, water pollution. Okay, just as an example. So Lailuma was saying there are many effects of growing human population, right? So in this case, growing human population is the cause, right?
Yes.
And air, water, and soil pollution are
the effect.
The effects. Why I think your thesis is not really clear enough yet, Mir, is there are many effects of environmental pollution. Is environmental pollution the cause? And then when you say air pollution, like this still seems like the cause. Like I'm not sure what the cause and effect is, but if you said something like this is when I saw your thesis statement, Mir, it made me think of this. I hope that you can kind of see the difference and why one is more specific, right? So there are many causes of the environmental pollution, from air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. I think, okay, that's three types of pollution. That sounds like three causes to me. So I'm not sure exactly what this author is going to talk about in the body paragraphs. But if I get more specific and I say there are many effects from air pollution, including increased asthma, poor air quality, and worsening allergies. Okay, now I've got one very specific cause and three very specific effects that I assume that this author is going to talk about in the body paragraphs. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes. So you mean that's the cause, that's not the effect, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference, Mir, just how this one is more specific?
Yes.
Good. Okay, who else? Other questions?
Dear Professor, this is Miss Samira. Yes, Professor, or my question, my thesis is a statement and the myth, but I'm talking about the negative effect, because yesterday I shared with you my subject. I chose the environment pollution, but my dear, the thesis is my own thesis statement. I wanted to share with you. There are many negative effects. Environmental pollution is any discharge of material or energy into the water, land, and air. This is my thesis statement. But I make a specific these three E is negative effect.
There are many negative effects from the pollution of water, soil, and air. Okay, there are many negative effects from the pollution of water, soil, and air. What are those things, though? So now you've given me the cause, but this thesis feels incomplete to me because I don't know what the effects are.
Because the effect I explained in the introduction, the body paragraph.
That's fine, but I'm saying a thesis to go from, like I said, like a C, like this thesis passes because you introduced the topic, but to go from a C to an A, you want to be more specific, and that means you need to say what those negative effects are that you're going to write about. You're like telling the reader, you're like, hey reader, my body paragraph is going to be about this topic. My other body paragraph is going to be about this topic. So more specific, more clear what the point of your essay is. So
yes, Professor, I mentioned the specific is any discharge of material or energy.
Nope, that's a cause.
There are many negative effects.
I think that's I think discharge. So this sounds like a cause to me. You're saying dumping stuff in the water, dumping stuff in the air, dumping stuff. It's like, okay, cause when this happens, but then it's like, well, what's the impact, right? What's the negative impact? You got to give me those effects to have a more effective thesis statement.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why be careful, and I see you, Feng, I'm coming to you next. That's why be careful about examples that you find online, right? Because this is what I was saying, there's lots of different types of essays here. So look online, look at examples, but for this thesis, make sure that you have both the cause and the effect, right? It's not enough to just say, wow, a lot of bad stuff happens when you dump garbage into the ocean. Okay, I'm gonna say, when I read that, I think, okay, what is it? What are those negative things? Tell me, you gotta tell me, you know? Feng, tell me, I see your hand, go for it.
I think my essay gonna write about the reason why people should stop using plastic bags.
Nice.
Can you check my thesis statement for me?
Sure, yeah. So it sounds like, Feng, you're going to make an argument, which is great. Like we talked about, you can definitely do that in this type of genre. So yeah, you want to read it to me? I'll type it out for us.
Stop using plastic bags is good for the environment and the people who is living on this planet.
Okay, good. This to me sounds like an opinion essay, but remember, this is a cause and effect essay, so you've got to get cause and effect in there. So how can are you going to focus on the negative effects of plastic bags, or how are you going to, do you know what I mean? Like, what information are you going to share with the reader?
Can I continue?
Yeah, please.
Because it contributes to improve the environment and help people have a safer and better life and save money. Is that confused?
Got it. Okay. So the use of plastic bag contributes to environmental. I'm just going to change, put this in my own words here a little bit. So you said bags increase pollution, right? I heard that. What else?
Help people have a safer and better life.
Okay, and?
Save money.
I'm just putting your ideas in my own words, Feng, okay? I'm trying to like remember what you said, but keep the idea the same. So this would be an example like, stop using lens. So this would just be a sort of way to make sure you organize this. Same idea, Feng. So the use of plastic bags. So again, the use of plastic bags, cause, right, contributes to environmental pollution, makes people less safe, costs a lot of money. 3 effects, and therefore we should stop using plastic bags to make the world a better place. Right? So if we're thinking about this like I was putting different colors here, then Feng has a really interesting thesis statement that has 3 sort of specific parts that I would then expect to see in her essay. And probably, if you look at the example here, I did a different color. And probably, if you look at the Thomas Edison example, the argument part would go in the conclusion. The 3 effects would be the 3 body paragraphs. And this, before the thesis, Feng would probably introduce the idea that plastic bags are bad, right? In the introduction, you might say, oh, did you know how bad plastic bags are? Or whatever, right? Whatever hook you want to do, hook into this idea of plastic bags, then you say plastic bags are bad, and then you get your thesis. Wow, clearly plastic bags are bad, and here's the effects. They harm the environment. There's this safety idea. I know this wasn't your exact words, Feng, but the word I heard there was safety, which is a great topic for this a great body paragraph. And then money. So environment, safety, money, great. And then here's Feng's argument. So we should stop using plastic bags. So this thesis, Feng, the ideas, you've got them. I know I changed it just to be able to share with the class, but the ideas make sense. Does how I sort of talked about your idea make sense? Feng? I can't hear you. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to Feng. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
This is really, really helpful, I think, you guys, just to practice looking at different thesis statements, because I'm just so, I have to tell you, I'm so happy. Your questions are so clear and sharp and specific, and your questions to me show how much you have learned about structure and genre, because all of these are, excuse me, all of these are just such good questions. So I hope that you see how much, I love the way you're thinking. I love the way you guys are thinking is what I'm saying. It's really exciting. Yes, Farah.
Excuse me, Professor.
Oh, Laluma, yes.
Sorry. Do I need to change my thesis statement or?
Yeah, I think
I want to get better.
if you share this, right? This was yours. There are many effects of the environmental pollution from air pollution. This is, like I said, the problem, right? The issue.
No, the first one was mine, Professor. Human increasing.
There are many effects of growing human population.
Because I wrote about the environmental pollution, air pollution, and water pollution.
That's fine. Then the only thing is, okay. The only thing I'll say is, if you keep this the same, Lailuma, make sure then that this is just like I'm going to show you examples of major writing assignment 2. Make sure that in your body paragraphs, you talk about these effects. Like you have a paragraph about air pollution, right?
Yes.
But make sure in that body paragraph about air pollution, you keep connecting back to human population, human population, human population.
Yes.
The relationship between cause and effect has to be there. And that's like I was saying for your major, not yours, Lailuma, but for everybody, right? For writing project 2, I kept saying, connect back to your audience. Tell me why, right? Why will this person love? Don't just say, you will love Children's Fairyland. It's like, why? Be specific, you know? So talk about air pollution, talk about water pollution, but make sure in those body paragraphs, you keep connecting back to human population growth.
I'm doing my best on the second major assignment. I thought so we have to summarize the whole paper. So on the like on the Indian Museum, I almost summarized the whole reading. So that's why I wrote too much.
We're gonna look at we're sort of working backwards. We started with cause and effect, but I do want to show you guys examples of writing project 2, because now that I finally got grades in, hopefully you know what to do to revise and resubmit, but I do want to show examples for that one as well. But since we're here, let's keep going with cause and effect and finish this idea. So do people have other questions about thesis statement or structure or anything related to writing project 3?
I do have a question, Professor.
Yes, please, Faridun.
My question is in regarding the thesis statement. As we here say that there are many effects occurring or whatever.
Yep.
So can we say instead of many effects, can we say like there are 5 effects, or there are 3, or there are 4? Can we specify the numbers?
100%. Yeah, for this paper, I mean, I think, so you want to be careful, right? I'd say something like this. Something like this. So don't say this though. Don't say, what I don't want you to say is this. There are 3 effects of air pollution. Oops. So what I don't want is this. There are 3 effects of air pollution. Well, that's not true. There's lots of effects. You're just going to write about the 3 you want to write about. So if you say the number, which you can, just make sure you say 3 major, 3 important, the 3 most important, whatever you want to do there. But if you say a number, just make sure the 3 most, the 3 scariest, the 3 biggest, the 3 whatever.
Common for 3 noun.
The 3 what?
The 3 like 3 common.
3 common, that's good too. Yeah, 3 common, whatever. Exactly. Yeah, cool. Who else? Thank you, Faridun. Other questions?
I have a question, Professor.
Yeah, Sarah.
If we write, there are many effects of growing any human pollution, but I want to write, or I want to discuss about these 3. Is it correct? Does that make sense?
Perfect. Love it. That to a little bit there, Sarah, that's even just kind of like your personal writing style. That's your tone. That's great. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yep. What else? This was great. This was really good to see and look at. Any other questions about cause and effect? I'll post this into Canvas instead of the one that's there now so that you guys can see. So this will be in the video recording, of course, but I'll put this color-coded one into Canvas as well, just so you see sort of how this essay, this example essay gives you structure, right? How you can see the structure of the essay in the thesis statement by itself. So, so that was awesome.
It shows the structure of the section.
Yes, I'm sorry. Who was that, Sada or Farah? Or I wasn't sure who.
Yes, I said this is my problem.
Yeah, it's the.
Yeah. Usually you tell me, please change your size. Exactly, I remember.
It's what we all of us always get notes on, because it's the whole thing, right? Like, you can have the best ideas in the world, but if you don't organize them in a certain way, it's really hard for the reader to understand what you're talking about, for better and for worse, but that's kind of how it goes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Other questions about this?
Professor?
Yes.
Excuse me, Professor. The last example like this, like I say.
Oh yeah. So actually, thank you, Kadisha. Since Kadisha is asking about the final exam, I'm gonna end cause and effect and start to talk about other stuff. So hold your question, Kadisha. I'm gonna answer it, but I want to give one last chance. Any other questions about cause and effect before I move on?
Yeah, move on.
Thank you, Farah. Farah's like, yeah, move on. So I want to show one last thing, and then I'm going to answer Kadisha's question. A lot of you guys, I put Google MLA essay format to see sort of what information to put in the top left corner. I just want you to notice, right? Your name, teacher's name. This is true for any essay you write. When you go to 315 next semester, this will say Professor Travis, Professor whatever, whoever you're working with, right? But your name first, the teacher's name, the number or title of the class, and the due date. And then the title of the essay, center of the page, and in bold. This format right here, every essay, every class, at US College, whether that's at ARC, if you go to Sac State, if you go to UC Davis, whatever, this is the format for essay writing in US University, okay? And you'll see another example of this in the other two essays, but anything you turn in for me or for 315, for 325 should look like this at the very beginning of the page. Cool?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Whose question?
Excuse me, Professor. Is that the topic? Is that the format? It was the bowl.
Say again.
For example, how did the light in the bowl they change the word? Is that the bowl? Why? Because you usually in the summary we doesn't the bowl in the topic. All of the format exactly same.
So you're asking about how
format.
What to include in the title?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I mean, again, some teachers care a lot about the title. I don't care that much. So you're saying, why is this the title instead of is that kind of what you're saying, Farah, or? Oops. Why the bulb? I mean, in the, God, I did this wrong. Yeah, I mean, your title should usually give the reader some information about the topic of your essay. So when I read this title, I think, okay, it's going to be about light bulbs and change. And that makes sense, right? That makes sense. I mean, like for some of these example essays, like, you know, Feng's essay could be, something like this. Right, this is sort of, all you're trying to do is give the reader some information about the topic of your essay. So the negative impact of plastic bags, because Feng's only going to write about the negative things. Something like this. Right, so yeah, your title is just some basic keywords to introduce the topic to the reader. Did I answer your question, Farah? Because I'm not sure I understood.
No, that's correct. Yeah, because I'm a little bit confused why you want to change that, the format, the topic, but we are going to the bowl.
I think she's asking about the MLA format.
Oh, so is that your question, Farah, the MLA formatting? Like this right here?
It's the formatting, yes, it is.
Well, I still feel like I'm misunderstanding, so it's my fault. I'm not sure, but this, Mir, can you help me out? What am I missing?
Sorry, Professor.
I'm not sure. Farah, I don't think I fully understand your question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just my question of you, just for the formatting,
Yeah.
Exactly why you wanted the topic was exactly Pacific in the bowl. Why you don't exactly at the same, the other summary? Just the formatting. Why?
Why does it look like this?
Yeah, exactly.
There is no, I wish I could tell you why. The real answer, in my opinion, is about, there's all these different companies that sell these books that tell you the format. There's like 7 or 8 of them in the US that are really popular. MLA and APA and Chicago Psychology and the Harvard Review. There's all these different ways that you can structure your essay, and they fight and sell books, and for whatever reason, ARC is an MLA format college. So your essays need to look like MLA format. If you look up APA format or Chicago format, or there's all these other different formats. So why? There's not really a great answer. Some formatting is just more popular than other ones, and almost all English writing, English class writing or writing composition is MLA.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and the MLA, like I said, is your name, So I'll make, oops, your name, teacher name, class name, date, title. That's MLA formatting. That's MLA formatting. Okay. Okay, so I'm moving on from,
Professor,
yeah.
when is the last exam?
Here we
And
go.
how many hours do we have to do that exam?
Good.
Could
So
you give a little bit information, because yesterday some of my classmates missed that class that you're
Yeah, of course.
talking. I also too, because of misunderstanding.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, so for people who were there yesterday, bear with me. You heard me say this a little bit, and all of this is
And link on that you put it on the email, but if we couldn't.
your internet's a little choppy, but I think you guys should be able to watch the video, right? So this was the video from yesterday. So
Yes.
it should be there. So I spent 45 minutes doing this, so I won't talk that long this time. But if you have questions about due dates or what's going to happen or what the assignment will be, go back and watch that video. I'm going to do the short version of it right now, but it's here. I think, oh, that's the PowerPoint. Forgive me. I want to make sure the video works. Oh, my beautiful voice. Okay, yes, that's fantastic. So watch that video. If you're not sure about dates and assignments and stuff, check it out. But I will do a short version of it right now for people who weren't here and to answer questions because, of course, I know not everybody can be there. So here's just the most important dates. So if you didn't watch the video, good news. The cause and effect essay is not due until Wednesday. It was supposed to be due Sunday. My life got crazy and I didn't get to update Canvas as soon as I wanted. So I think it's only fair to give you guys more time. So draft 1 for cause and effect essay, that is due Wednesday, July 29th. And Varvara is not here, but she said, Jeff, when will you give feedback? Thursday. So Thursday all day, I like I said, I already told my brother and sister, no phone calls, no, unless it's an emergency, no helping mom. It's all you guys on Thursday. So I'll give grades and feedback to your first draft by Thursday. Then Friday, the 31st, 1 week from today, will be the final exam. So to Khadija's question, you have 24 hours to complete the final exam. It will be a summary and synthesis activity. So it's not going to be cause and effect. It's going to be summary and synthesis. It will be something you already know a little bit about. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You don't need to do anything to prepare or get ready or blah, 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 blah. You just need to feel comfortable with summary and synthesis, okay? And for the final, I'm asking you to write at least 500 words, which to me means at least the introduction, at least one body paragraph, and the conclusion. Okay. Now, if you write more than that, and if you want to practice, I'm going to show you some examples of very successful summary and synthesis essays from this class. You can, but at least 500 words. And then August 4th, that's the last day to turn in anything. So your final has to be done between midnight and 11:59 on Friday, July 31st. You have to do it that day. If it's after it, I can't, because of how the rules for the university are with the final exam. If you submit your final after 11:59 on Friday, it's not me, that's a 0. It has to be in that 24 hours, okay? So submit something, otherwise 0. Then,
Professor, I have a quick question.
Okay.
As you say, like 11:59 is the last time, but like I think it was last night or before last night, I submit an assignment on 11:47. It was due on 21st, but it still show me late.
If it was due on the 21st and you submitted it yesterday, it was late.
No. The due was the 21st at 11:59, but I submitted the 21st at 11:47.
Okay, if Canvas, if you're resubmitting an assignment too, it depends. So for a specific assignment, Farian, we can talk about, sometimes Canvas might do weird things, but especially if it's revising, especially if you're sending a draft or something that was due a couple weeks ago or whatever. But for the final exam, forget whatever Canvas tells you. What I'm going to check is, did you turn in your final exam by 11:59 p.m. on Friday, next Friday? That's the deal.
That was my concern. I thought like if we submit it and still say late, then it's gonna, because the assignment I submitted, that was the really first time that I submitted.
Right.
I took a screenshot. I took a screenshot of it for like I just want to make sure to be in the safe side. You know, like I mean, like if we have a 24-hour and that 24-hour we submitted, and then we have like 1 and 2 hour to the last minute, and we submit it, and still if the Canvas say that's late, you know.
We'll look at it, yeah. So all that stuff, or like computer problems, blah, 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 we can deal with that one-on-one. But I just want to, like I said, this is one of the rules that come from the school, right? Like I always tell you guys, I don't know if I've said this to you guys, but I say this to other classes. There's some things I agree with from the school and some things I disagree with from the school, but I love my job. I want to keep my job. And the school is very clear. If, you know, teachers, you have to do this, right? You have to do this for these final exams. So that's why I'm just trying to tell you guys, these are the rules. I have feeling, you know, we can like them or not like them, that's fine. But for the final exam, it's got to be in that 24-hour window, okay?
Professor?
Yes, Khadija.
Is it possible to change the date of the last exam? Because that day is Eid day for us, as we discussed it yesterday. As some of our classmates, they suggested that agree with me to change. Is it possible to change the date because we have a Eid day?
Again, it's just like the fall and the spring. The university says on this day at this time, this is when you have to give the final exam. Honestly, Khadija, the way I'm supposed to do this is I'm only supposed to give you 3 hours. I'm kind of breaking the rules a little bit by giving you the full day. So I am so sorry. I completely understand. I completely understand. I don't know what to do. I wish that the school could do a better job about being respectful to all different types of religion. But I don't know what to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You gave it for the final exam, you gave it the topic later, or it's the optional?
That day, so you can't even open the final exam until that day. It's just, imagine it's like in walking into the classroom, right? Like you don't know what it's going to be, and the teacher is going to give you the final exam. This is like that. All I will tell you is what I will ask you to look at and read. It won't be brand new to you. It will be something we've talked about or looked at or was in one of our textbooks or reading. So it's not going to be like you have to read all these long articles and no, it'll be something that we've talked about at least a little bit, but the purpose of the task, right? What I will ask you to do, that will be a new assignment, a new task. So the topic will be familiar, one of the things we talked about, but what I tell you to do or ask you to do will be new.
Is that new? Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yeah, Lailuma.
Oh, sorry about the too many questions. So
No.
I just want to know, so for the final exam, so we have to write only one body paragraph?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm asking for at least 500 words. So I was saying, if you're a student who writes on the shorter side, if you still feel uncomfortable writing a lot, at least 500 words. But again, you know, what you did for project 2 is you guys did 5 paragraphs. So if you have time to write 5 paragraphs, you can do that. But I know this is a time, because time is real and because it's a holiday, and you know, I mean, I understand. So just do your best. So that's what I'm saying. At least introduction, 1 body paragraph, and conclusion. That's what I'm suggesting.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah. Mir, I see your hand. What's up?
Professor, if you put
Yeah, Professor, in the MLA format, we don't need to add the header and footer, right?
Ask again, I'm sorry.
I mean, in MLA format, we don't need to add header and footer.
No header. No, you don't need header and footer.
Okay.
When you go to English 300, some English 300 teachers might want a header and footer. That's kind of like teacher preference and stuff like that. But for me, for this class, and I don't think for 315 they have students who use headers. There's a couple students in this class who learned how to use headers and footers, and I saw you use them on your paper. That's totally fine with me. But for this, usually right now, it's not like you have to do it every paper.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Khadija, what's up?
My question is that in this essay, the cause and effect, I put header and footer. Should I remove it?
You put a header? No, like I was just saying, no, you don't have to.
Header, yeah.
You can leave it. You're good. Yeah, you're good. Okay, any other questions about the final? I'm sorry it's on Eid, and I'm going to take it seriously. If there is anything I can do, Khadija, I will, and for everybody, I know this is important.
It's okay, no problem.
Well, it is, but I mean, it's okay, right? That's fine, but I will at least talk to my department chair and ask, like, is there anything, how much trouble will I get in if I do it on a different day? But again, like, this is one of those things that when you start teaching at a new school, they're like, this is very serious rules, and these dates and times come from the university. So I can't promise that I can change it, but I can promise that I can at least ask the question. Because I know Eid is, one of the most important holidays in the calendar, right?
I have a question, but how about another, like, people who can, like, do a final exam on this day and they cannot do, like, another day? It's unfair.
Right, that's true. Yeah, Katie, that's very true. Katie's saying, yeah, what about people who don't celebrate Eid and that's a good day for them? That's why it's really tricky. And then for me as the teacher, because I love you guys so much, I think, oh, then I can have it due on different days for different students, but then I just die because it's too confusing. It's too much work to have different days and different times for different students. So yeah, so all I can say is I take everything that Khadija and everything Katie just said seriously, and I will at least ask because I'll at least get more information. But like I said, I promise nothing. I promise nothing.
Professor, we will have a question on Friday, next Friday, where you can catch you, yes, on Zoom, yes?
Yes.
At least 3 hours, yeah?
Thank you. Yes. So Irina is sort of Irina was here yesterday, so she knows. So we're talking about these dates and stuff like that. So I'm going to have 3 more days of writing conferences. I think Tuesday is actually already all full, which makes me happy. I'll be very busy, but it makes me happy because it means that you guys have time and you want to talk. But you can sign up for Thursday, July 30th or Tuesday the 4th. And we're having our Friday Zoom meeting right now, July 24th. And that Friday, the day of the final exam, I'll be here, okay? So if you have questions about the final, once it's open, come. If you can, come and talk to me. I can answer questions and make sure everything makes sense. So we can talk about the final exam. We can also talk about the cause and effect essay next week too, if you guys still have questions.
Professor?
Yes.
In last exams in one paragraph, but
no, I'm saying for the final, the final exam should be at least 3 paragraphs.
Yeah. The final exam is like essay?
Yes.
I'm a little confused. Which one is?
All I can say, of course, your internet's a little.
That one of my classmates asking about.
Yeah, the final exam is a summary and synthesis. And then you'll see the topic, you'll see that's all I can really say right now, but you'll see the topic, you'll see the assignment, you'll see what I want you to do on the day of the final. But if you're thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do? It's a summary and synthesis. So you're gonna read a little bit and summarize and synthesize.
Professor, one more question. The last question.
Sure.
Assignment number 17. What is it? I don't know. I know the synonyms and the other sport collection. I think it is collection in the 17. Assignment 17.
Yeah. Oh, happy baby. So Khadija, your internet is a little slow, so I think I understood your question, but I think you have a question about how to complete lesson 17. Give me a second. I want to talk about the final and the dates and stuff, and then we can look at the specific lessons. So I just want to again repeat. So we talked about this Wednesday, next Wednesday. We talked about next Friday. August 4th is, I think I forget, a few students texted me and I told them, August 4th is the last day for anything. So if you're submitting a revision for your major writing assignments, if you're completing a lesson, if you're doing anything, August 4th, that day, that's the last day to submit. So whatever is in Canvas, that day is it. Now that doesn't mean that I'll be done grading everything on that day, but that means I can't accept work after August 4th, okay? So I will also be having, that's why I'm having office hours or Zoom one-on-one conferences on Tuesday, August 4th. So if you're, that's the end of the line, right? So you can sign up for conferences. Like I said, I think Tuesday's full, but Thursday and Tuesday are also on Canvas. If you want to make sure you have time to talk to me, sign up now. Let's see. So I didn't forget about your question, Khadija. I'm going to talk about the lessons, but any questions about this? Dates for the end of the semester? Any questions?
Not yet.
Thank you, Freda. Okay, so major writing project 2.
My question is about.
Please.
My question is about the assignment number 17.
I'm going to do that last, Khadija. I'm going to do the lessons last. I will answer that, just not right this second. So major writing project 2, all the grades and comments are done. Hallelujah. So you have until August 4th to revise and resubmit draft 2 or draft 3. And as I tried to say to people who were here yesterday, just for time, I didn't have as much time to give super detailed feedback on every paper, but I did get to leave a voice memo and leave some written comments for everybody. So if you have questions, Jeff, what are you talking about? How do I fix this? Sign up for a conference next week, okay? And I'm gonna show you at least a couple examples of writing project 2 here as well. Questions about writing project 2? Great. So basic information about writing project 3, that's the cause and effect essay, which we just talked about for the first hour of this lesson. Draft 1 is now due Wednesday, the 29th. So your essay should be 5 paragraphs. So that should be 700, 900, maybe 1,000 words. This 5 paragraphs is gonna be a lot of words, right? So your essay should have a clear thesis, just like we practiced. Your essay should either be focused on causes or focus on effects writing. And you are free to choose your own topic, but if you need help, I'll provide a list of 10 possible topics. In lesson number 20, the invention activity, I sent a link that has 40 possible topics. I mean, you can find lists of 100 possible topics. So there's lots of possible topics out there. If you're not sure what you want to write about, send me a text, send me an email, let me know. I'm definitely happy to give you some ideas. Questions about writing project 3? All right.
Excuse me, the major writing project 3,
Yes.
which one? Is that the new?
Say again, Farah?
The major writing project 3, which one?
That's cause and effect. That's this.
Awesome. I get it.
Yeah, that's cause and effect.
Okay, I get it.
And that one is here, right? That one is here. That's open up.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes.
Great. Yes. Whose question?
My question is that I already submit last and summary and synthesis. Still now, you're not checking, and I.
I can't hear you, Khadija. I'm so sorry. Your internet is, I can't hear you. You're coming in and out, and I'm so sorry. I can't hear you. You can try typing in the chat if you want. I think you were talking about project 2. Yeah, the grades were just finished yesterday and this morning. So maybe you didn't see my grade or didn't see my comment or didn't listen to my audio comment yet, but all of the grades and comments for all major writing project 2 are in there. But I know it took a long time. So thank you for your patience.
Anand, excuse me, Professor.
Yes, Lailuma.
For the audience and the major assignment, like cause and effect. So for the audience, we have to mention our audience. So for example, I must my audience. So I'm writing for my ESL 315 teacher, or no?
No, you don't have to say, dear future teacher. No. This is really just a way of me saying your audience is, the first 2 papers I had you try a sort of different, imagining a different audience. This one is sort of more like a standard academic essay, right? Like imagine that you're going to write just a school essay and you're going to show it to me and you're going to show it to your 315 teacher. The idea here is that this is the most sort of academic, the most sort of like, just like sort of like, you know, college writing. So it's more formal, right? It's just more formal. It's more academic. That's the idea for the audience. So no, you don't have to say, dear future teacher.
Okay, thank you. So we have to do our best. Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah. So yes, Khadija is saying, did you check summary and synthesis? Yes, that's what I was saying. All grades, all comments for summary and synthesis are in. If you haven't seen them, go check it out. Go check it out. They're finished yesterday and today. Any other questions about project 3? Thank you, Lailuma, for a great question about audience. Okay, now we're getting to Khadija's question about the lessons. I'm almost done with this stuff. Lesson 17 and 20 are in Canvas. They are the final lessons. So 17, 18, 19, 20, that's it. No more lessons. Just finish these lessons and just focus on writing and revising the major writing projects. We're getting there. We're almost done. So lesson 17 and 18 are more cause and effect essay examples. Lesson 19 is some more grammar practice, and lesson 20 is an invention activity. So Khadija was saying, how should I do lesson 17? Let's take a look. Oh, I think I should do student view for this one, huh? Great, so you're going to read this, right? This is another more examples from the textbook. So you get kind of like we were looking at the Edison example, the light bulb one. Here's another example of a cause and effect essay. This one's about how the history of weather and how weather has changed the world. So you need to read this, and then I think I want to open this in a new tab here. Yeah, okay, so these questions are basically this, right? These are the questions from the textbook on page 141. So what's the topic of the essay? That means this essay, this example essay. And then what's the writer's thesis? What's the cause that the writer describes? What are some of the effects? How is this essay organized? Does the author offer suggestion, opinion, or solution in the conclusion? Okay, so these questions, thank you, Khadija. This is a good question. So question 1 through 6, right? These questions are basically just these questions here. So to answer these questions in the quiz, you need to read this essay. Read through this essay, and it'll help you see the structure for cause and effect, okay? Then, like I said, this essay has a lot of vocabulary. So on this next page here, on page 142, you get lots of vocabulary examples. Of course, I encourage you, go to Learner's Dictionary, go to Google Translate, look up these words. But this is just some vocabulary practice. So question number 7, I give you the word, and I just say, write a sentence. So write a sentence with the word fate. Write a sentence with the word document as a verb. Write a sentence with the word ambition. Write a sentence with the word handily, right?
Yeah, it's a grammar.
Yes, this is vocabulary, sort of more vocabulary.
Vocabulary, yeah, the sentence for grammar, yeah.
Then activity 5, which is starting with question 11 here, that's just this activity 5 on page 143. It's you go back, use the example essay, and fill in what the outline for this essay would be, right? So we can do the first one together here. So this is complete the outline. So the title is How Weather Has Changed World History. And then it asks you to fill in the blank here for the thesis statement. Well, like I told you, the thesis statement for most essays is the final sentence of the introduction paragraph. So the thesis statement for this essay is here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I'm already finished that and submitted
Good.
to Canvas.
Good.
But yeah, I need just the look at it.
That's great. So Farah feels good and she was able to finish it. But I think, Khadija, it's a great question to make sure I'm explaining sort of what are these questions talking about? They're all talking about this example essay, right? So like I said, I'm trying to give you guys as many examples as possible of cause and effect essays so that you see the structure, you see what the genre looks like, and in this case, you get some new vocabulary as well.
Mm-hmm.
Khadija, does that answer your question about how to do number 17? Or maybe not just Khadija, but anybody. Does that make sense for number 17?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Yes, please.
And on the vocabulary,
Yes.
what is the meaning of original sentences?
Oh, an original sentence means a sentence that you write, not one that you copy and paste from the reading. So your own original sentence, your own original idea, a sentence from your brain.
Thank you.
Yeah, great question.
The different sentences, yes.
Exactly.
It's not about me, yes?
Exactly, yeah. Irina knows this from when we were doing the ESL lab. I had you guys do this all the time. Okay, here's a new vocab word. Use it in a sentence. Make up your own sentence. I think it's the best way to remember words. Memorizing the definition is like, okay, it's fine. But using it in real writing or speaking, that's how words stick in our brain. I really believe. I really, really believe. Any other questions about lesson 17 or 18 or 19?
I didn't.
One more question.
Farah, go ahead.
No, I didn't see then 20 because I don't have any more time.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We got you.
Professor.
You've got until August 4th. Don't worry. Yes, Samira.
Yes, my question about activity 20.
Okay.
Writing has a process. There's some reviewed list. When I open it, there's some list about the cause and effect, some title.
Yep.
And the other one, and the Professor Shashinda for lesson 10, some activity so I did it in the past years mentioned, but I'm a little bit confused. I'm not understand how to should do for this activity.
Oh yeah. Oh, my mistake here, and I need to fix this. Not for the summary and synthesis. This is what you guys already did, but. So this is exactly the type of activity that you did for the summary and synthesis. A lot of people did. Free writing, but I'm asking you to do it for cause and effect. So I'm saying, look at a topic. Like if you need help thinking about a topic, once you have your topic, okay, I'm gonna write. That's about. Hold on one second. Sorry, Samir, I'm just going to mute you real quick. So if you're going to choose your topic as growing up in poverty, well, then I want you to do an invention activity about growing up in poverty. Do a mind map, do a free write, do one of the activities that we talked about with Professor Shashinda's videos. Do one of those things, do it on a piece of paper, take a picture. That's it. So just like you did for summary and synthesis, but this time for the cause and effect essay.
Okay.
This is to give you time to think about it. And this, just like the other one, my goal for this is like 15 free points, right? If you do the activity, I'm just going to give you the points. That's the goal. Yes, Samira.
Okay, Professor, the subject, the title choose is optional.
The title?
Yes. this title of the cause and effect, as you posted in this activity.
In this activity, the cause and effect title? Like the topic, I do think when you do this invention activity, you do need to have a topic, right? You can't do a mind map if you don't have some idea of what you're going to write about. So you have to have some idea of what you want to do for your cause and effect essay. I think, Samira, you said you're going to write about the environment, right?
Yes, yes.
So you already know your environment. You're going to write about the environment. You have your topic. So then you would just do something like what? Effects. So maybe at the center of your mind map, you say like, effects of pollution or something. And then there's three possible effects or something. So just make sure you have your topic, and then you can do the invention activity around that topic.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Listen.
You guys are amazing. I cannot even imagine how you guys are doing this with families and kids and stuff at home. You guys are amazing.
It's very difficult.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's beautiful and it's very difficult. Yeah. Yes, Irina.
If I do map something like free writing, yes, and then I can change after this 20, I can change during the writing. It's okay? No, it's normal.
That's totally normal. 100%, Irina. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Totally fine. Yeah, sometimes the invention activity helps because you do the invention activity and you're like, oh, I don't want to write about that thing. And that's helpful. That's normal. That's totally normal. Yeah. Great. Any other questions about the lessons?
Can I have a question?
Yeah, Sarah.
Last night I took a quiz. I don't know which one was it, but my question is here: how should I know, in conclusion, the writer focused on opinion or focused on suggestion or predication? How should I know?
Ooh, good. So let's do this. I'll open that file. Okay, this will be the last thing I say about cause and effect, and then I want to show just a couple examples of for project 2 for your revision, and then we'll finish up because I know how long these things get. So remember, I talked about, I think it's here in live support materials. Well, I don't think, I know. It's this one, cause and effect writing. If you want some more details about how to write these essays, go watch this video and look at this PowerPoint. But I talked about one common way to write a conclusion for cause and effect writing is to have a suggestion or your opinion or an argument at the end. So let's see. So this is the conclusion in the example essay that I'm having you read from the textbook, right? There's this picture in the middle. I think that's supposed to be Napoleon on his horse in Russia. So here's the conclusion. As these three examples, unambiguous, and unambiguous means clear, right? It's not controversial. It's very clear. It's obvious. Unambiguously demonstrate means show. The weather has caused numerous huge shifts in world history, as well as in power balances among cultures and nations. Without the rainy storms of the monsoon season, Japan might be the eastern outpost of Mongolia. Without the appearance of dense means thick fog, the United States might still be a territory of the United Kingdom, and without winter snow, Muscovites might speak French. Today, weather forecasters can usually predict with a high degree of accuracy when thunderstorms, hurricanes, tsunamis, and tornadoes will strike, but the course of human history cannot be fully isolated from the effects of the weather. So this is kind of, in my opinion, this is kind of like a summary of what the author already said in this essay. So I'll ask you guys, is there any opinion or argument in this conclusion? I'll hear from one person. Does anybody, what do you guys think? Is there an opinion in this paragraph?
The first sentences, professor, is the opinion or not? Because I choose that first sentence for that quiz.
No, it's not. There's no opinions in this paragraph. As these three examples unambiguously demonstrate the weather has caused numerous huge shifts in world history. Unambiguous is almost like a clue. Again, it gives you the definition here. It just means clear, right? It means like definitely 100%. So this person isn't giving an argument. They're saying like the facts are clear, right? There is evidence, there is proof, right? And they're saying in this essay, right, in these three paragraphs, this author is saying, let's imagine that it's a woman who wrote it. She's saying, right, like in this paragraph, I proved this, right? In this paragraph, I proved these things. So this is more like a summary and synthesis of their own writing. This is not an opinion or an argument way to end this conclusion. This is just a sort of synthesis, a repeating of the information that they included in the body paragraphs. Body paragraph 1 is about Genghis, or Kublai Khan, not Genghis Khan, is about Kublai Khan in Japan. This one's about the US and the British War for Independence in the United States. This one's about Napoleon in Russia. And so he's saying these aren't opinions, right? These are just like, these are the facts. So this is, I'd say, a repeat, restate, synthesis conclusion, not an opinion or argument conclusion.
That's correct. That's correct.
Suggestion?
I don't see any suggestion, right? There's not saying, so we should all, what would you even say about the weather, right? So we should check the weather every day. I mean, there's no suggestion, right? The author's not saying we should do this or we should do that. The author is not saying this is good or bad. The author is just saying basically, right, weather has changed human history. Weather has a big impact on human history. That's just the evidence. That's the facts. That's not an opinion or a suggestion.
Excuse me, Professor, is there any effect on the conclusion? Without the rainy storm of the monsoon season, these are the effect?
Yes, and right, like there's a whole paragraph about the rainy, there's a whole paragraph about monsoons in Japan, right? So like, this is what I'm saying. In a certain way, this author is synthesizing, in the conclusion, is synthesizing what they already said. This is why conclusions are so hard for every student, not just ESL students. Students usually feel like, but I already said this. Like, why am I saying this again? Yes, but you're saying it shorter. You're saying it in a different way. So in a certain way, right, without the rainy storms of the monsoon, Japan might be the eastern outpost of Mongolia. Without the appearance of dense fog, the United States might still be a territory of the United Kingdom. Without winter snow, Muscovites might speak French. These are like one little sentence summaries of each body paragraph, right? So that's why this is like a synthesis here, right? You take a short summary of your body paragraph and you put it together. So you're correct that this sentence talks about the cause and the effect, but it's not a new cause and effect, right? What you don't want to do in the conclusion is introduce something new. So I think that's something that's important for me to say again. Yes, there's a cause and effect idea in the conclusion, but it's repeating, it's summarizing what this author already said in the body paragraphs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I see Ivan nodding, I see Irina nodding, that's good.
Yes, but it's not easy.
No, I agree, Farah. It's very hard, but as long as the idea makes sense, like I'm saying.
Last night, I'm almost at 1:00 p.m. I'm reading, summaries, reading, story. Yes.
I agree. Like
but I love this story.
It's interesting, right? It's interesting.
Yes, very interesting. Very interesting. I love this.
Good. That's great. Yeah. And I think that's really good. That's really good. That's really good. So like I said, my goal for this class for W50 is not that you can do this perfectly, but that you start to understand what you need to do, because you get two more, you get 315 and 325 to keep practicing this. But I promise you, the skills that I am showing you now, you will use them over and over and over again as you keep writing.
I know.
Thank you, Professor.
I can, for the next semester, I take another class, but I can't because I want to change mine. For the writing is very good for me. Very good.
Good. Well, whenever, of course, life is life. So whenever you take 315.
No. I'm already. I had it 3 classes for the
Oh,
business technology.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yes, because I'm almost keep that in the finish that, but
Got
the writing is important than other than.
It's good. It's good to practice. It'll help you.
Yeah.
It'll help you. Audience, context, and purpose. Like I know it feels like, 2 months ago or whatever, but audience, context, and purpose. We do this. We think about this all the time. Who am I writing for? What do I want to say? What do I want them to understand? How am I going to say it?
Thank you so much.
It's important. It's important.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions about the lessons? And then I have one more thing I want to show you really fast, and then I can hang around and answer individual questions, but I think it's that thing. After about 2 hours of Zoom, the brain starts to shut down. But any questions about the lessons? I want to make sure that you have the information you need to finish the lessons.
Professor, you gave already feedback for Project 2, and when you resubmit, you can answer only next Tuesday, yes? Not least like Sunday, Saturday, or Monday, yes?
Good question.
I can't catch you, yeah?
If I know, I was going to say, no, let's say this, yeah. I'll do my best. I know I am going to be grading a lot this weekend, and I'm going to get ready. I'm doing a lot of stuff to get ready for the fall this weekend. So I'll be around. If you want to email me or text me about something very specific, please do. But for sure, next week when we start doing the conferences, then you can guarantee I'll have some of those things done. So yeah, I know that's not a super clear answer, but hopefully that helps a little.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Irina. Okay, so then the last thing I want to show you, and then I'll hang around and answer questions, is like Irina was just asking. Okay, Jeff, there's a first grade and there's some comments for Major Writing Project 2. Some people did so well. Actually, most people did great. Your summarizing skills are great, and that makes me really happy. The thing I want to focus on a little bit is synthesis. And I want to show you 2 examples of student writing who did this really well. So if you saw me leave a note in your essay, or if you saw me or heard me in my voice comment saying, hey, great job, you're doing amazing, but I want you to talk about why your audience will like the museum, this is going to be a big step for a lot of you guys, okay? So how you go from just summary to synthesis is you connect these things together. So if you don't have a clear audience, and if you're not explaining why your audience will like all 3 museums, you don't have a synthesis yet, okay? And I want to show you some examples of students in this class. I took the names off of the paper who did this really, really well, so that you see an example of what I want you to do, okay? So same thing, I've got these highlighted. So I just I'll go through this pretty quickly here, but here's the introduction. Now, most of you tried to at least talk about your audience or introduce your audience in this first paragraph, but I want to show you about how specific you can be. So this is one of the students in our class. They wrote, the attractions of Sacramento are very popular for most tourists to come visit our city. One of these tourists will be my friend with his 6-year-old son who is going to come to Sacramento next week. Again, I would just say, for me as the teacher, I'm like, oh God, yes, it's perfect, right? My old friend, 6-year-old son, when they're coming. Okay. Now you don't have to put when they're coming, but I just want you to see. It's not just a friend, oh, a friend I've known for a long time, an old friend, specific. Not just, oh, with their child. No, their 6-year-old. And boy or a girl, son. Okay. And when they're coming. So specific, 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 right? Now, since it will be their first visit, even more good details, right? Since it will be their first visit to the capital of the state of California, it's likely that they'd be interested in seeing the local attractions of the city. There are many attractions in Sacramento, but I would like to recommend my friend to attend the best and more suitable for him. Now, this is exactly what I'm asking you guys to do. This person in our class just put this in writing, right? Like, hey, teacher, hey, Jeff, hey, audience, like, I'm going to tell you the best places for this person and why they're good for that person. And that's what I want you to do. And then we have a sort of, the thesis isn't as specific, but it still makes sense because this person has such specific details up above. So the following list includes interesting and historical places such as Children's Fairy Tale Town, the California State Indian Museum and the California Railroad Museum. So the first place I would like to recommend, my friend, is Children's Fairy Tale Town. This is a place for recreational and entertainment for children, so my friend's son will be delighted. You guys, even a sentence as short as this is successful enough for us that I know you, as the writer, you're showing me, ooh, I thought about why my audience will like this place, and I have a sentence that explains why my audience will like this place, right? This is a place for recreation and entertainment for children, so my friend's son will be delighted, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're connecting audience and the place and telling me why. I wrote that word a lot yesterday as I was grading. Why? Tell me why. Why? Why? Why will they like it? Why? Be specific. So then I want to show you another example here. The second place I recommend to my friend is the California State Indian Museum. In this museum, my friend can get to know the culture and traditions of the Californian Indian people, how they lived in the past and how they live now. So again, this, in my opinion, you guys, this sentence isn't as successful, but at least the author is saying what the friend will do, what their friend will learn, and what will happen when they visit the Indian Museum. So again, connecting audience and your summary. And the last one, the author gives much more specific details here. The California Railway Museum is the latest attraction that I strongly recommend my friend to visit as part of an educational technical program. Again, now, what will the person learn there? Oh, the person will learn something or education about technology. Then we have this sentence: having a library and a store is a great opportunity to buy some clothes, books, or souvenirs for a long memory. I think they're saying to make a long-lasting memory, right? So again, even though they're not saying my friend will love it because, which I'm going to show you an example of an essay that does that next, they are saying what will happen, right? What their friend will experience. They're going to have this experience, buy some souvenirs, buy some clothes to have a long memory. It's not just at the museum is open from 10 to 4. There is a library. There's a really nice train. There's really fun stuff to do, period. There's no connection to the audience in that type of paragraph, right? It's just a list. This is more than just a list. Then we get another great example of connecting audience and the summaries. Also, knowing that my friend works for a railroad company and comes to Sacramento with his little son, I think there are no better or more appropriate attractions for them than the California Railroad Museum and the Children's Fairy Tale Town. This type of sentence is honestly perfect, right? He says, works at the railroad company, little son. Okay, then we get Railroad Museum is connected to railroad company, and Children's Fairy Tale Town is connected to little son, right? This person is clearly saying, here is why this person will like this place. Does that make sense?
But Professor, there's no connection between the Indian Museum, so we have to connect all three of them,
Yes,
or
I
just two
agree.
of them.
This is still an A paper, if I'm honest with you. This is an A paper, and I also agree, Leiluma, the paragraph of the Indian Museum could be more clear, could be more specific. I totally agree. I totally agree. And I'm going to show you an example of my favorite my favorite example about the Indian Museum. But before I do that, do you guys have any questions about this essay? Does what I'm talking about make sense here? Because in the grading, in the rubric, I even said, I don't expect you to have 3 perfect answers for every single paragraph, but I do expect you to at least try to explain why this is good for your audience. If you have a 60 or a 70 or an 80 right now out of 150, it's because your audience wasn't clear, and in your summary paragraphs, you didn't talk about your audience at all, right? If your summary paragraph was just, the museum is open from 10 to 6, you can go into the library and look at photos. There are different levels of membership. The museum sits on 2.5 acres and it's very nice. There's nothing about audience there, right? So I agree. I wish there were a little bit more about audience in this paragraph here, Leiluma, but at least there's something, right? There's a little bit of something.
Yes, Professor, this essay is perfect. Yeah, this is perfect.
Professor,
tell me.
Why interested? We have to write in every body paragraph, or I can write in conclusion.
I'd say this, in your body paragraph, like I said, this paper that even Iluma said, oh, it could be more clear, I agree. But I'm telling you, even right now, this student, the first draft, they have an A, okay? So this is an A paper. And I say that because even in an A paper, even just one sentence in your body paragraph to connect to the audience is enough for this class. If you want to really give lots of more detail, go into more detail in your conclusion, Irina, that's totally fine. But I am asking, give me at least one sentence in each body paragraph to connect back to the audience. Because otherwise, like I said, if you don't do that, for me as the reader, it just starts to feel like 3 summaries that aren't connected. And if they aren't connected, then it doesn't feel like a synthesis. It just feels like a list. It just feels like disconnected, unconnected summary paragraphs. Make sense?
Yeah, of course, thank you.
Questions about this example? Because I want one more example to show you.
This summary is very good for use, Professor. Yes, is that yes, sir? Good.
Yes. And Khadija has a question not connected to this. Can we rewrite the final exam? No, you cannot. I'm sorry. But different question. But can we rewrite or revise your last essay? No. Only one draft. I hate it. I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, I hate it, but I have to give you a final. The school says, Jeff, if you want to keep your job, you have to give the students a final, okay? I'm sorry. I'll always be honest with you. That's the truth. Okay, so here's another essay that I loved, and I really love the way that this student connects audience and to create a synthesis. So let's look at this one together, and then I can answer questions. So here's the introduction. Again, I didn't read all of the body paragraphs because what I'm focusing on right now, I want to be clear is your audience clear? Do you connect to the audience in the body paragraphs? That's what we're practicing here. So here's the introduction. Would you like if our Russian granddaughter will discover interesting places while visiting us next vacation? Again, already details, right? Russian granddaughter, boom. I'm like, okay, good. I know who this audience is. I know she always wants to tell you amazing details about her trips. In order to provide some vivid memories for her and then you, I'd rather to offer her a few places to go. There are many museums and parks where teenagers can see wonderful things. Again, I should have highlighted this. More detail, more specific. Okay, Russian granddaughter. Okay, she's a teenager. Okay, they can see wonderful things, animals, and machines. They also can try different activities that's common for children 10 to 14. Again, I'll highlight this also. So specific. Besides that, Nika will see a lot of beautiful design, plants, and animals. Actually, I will describe to you just 3 of such interesting places. Now, again, maybe could this student have written the names of the places in the thesis? Yeah, they could have. But they also gave me a lot of specific things that I think they're going to write about, right? Wonderful things, animals and machines. Okay, cool. So we'll probably read about that in the body paragraphs. Beautiful design, plants and animals. Okay, plants, animals, design. Okay, cool. We're probably going to get more information about that in the body paragraphs. So again, you see, like I already said, every paper has a thesis, but there's different types of thesis statements. So this one to me makes perfect sense. The thesis is clear. I know we're going to talk about plants, animals, and design. We're going to talk about machines, animals, and wonderful things. And even most importantly, I get this Russian, granddaughter, teenager, 10 to 14 years old. This student even gave the name of their audience, which is great. Again, more specific. So if you look at how did this author in our class connect these ideas in their writing? Okay, so if you look at this paragraph, again, this is the summary part. I'll let you guys read that later on. But any child can go up to the treehouse or feed animals and a fish. Fairy Tale Town is a very nice place for the whole family, so you can relax, bring your own food, and enjoy there. There's everything for teenagers that will help them earn developing physically, mentally, and aesthetically. I mean, you guys, like, it's perfect, right? There is everything for teenagers that will help them to develop physically, mentally, and aesthetically. This is, again, even if this was the only sentence to connect audience, it's perfect, right? It's saying, I'm talking about teenagers. I'm talking about what they will get when they visit. And even more specifically, we're talking about physical, mental, and aesthetic development. It's perfect. It's perfect. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next one, like I said, this was my favorite example of, let's do the Railroad Museum. I love the Indian Museum one so much. So this student wrote, it's very helpful for children to enter the carriage. This one, we're talking about the Railroad Museum now, right? So it's very helpful for children to enter the carriage because they may not only see, but even touch things inside. And then it helps teenagers to better know the history of the United States. Again, it's not like this student wrote a huge, long, crazy, difficult, complex sentence. They just gave a really clear reason about why this is good for teenagers, right? They don't just get to see teenagers, they need to pick stuff up and touch stuff, whatever, right? They get to touch the things inside. And why, what's important or what's interesting? Well, it will help teenagers better know or learn the history of the United States. Again, just super simple, but really, really clear. And you start to, again, every paragraph now has some idea of the audience. And you see how this starts to connect the things and make it feel like a synthesis.
Mhm.
Last one, my favorite one. Talking about the California Indian Museum. You see, again, short paragraph, you guys, short, but some basic information about what they see at the museum. And then it will be interesting for teenagers, especially a girl, to see traditional baskets, dishes, canoes, and clothes with beadwork. My granddaughter Nika can enjoy the beauty of Indian products. Maybe she will want to buy some of them or a historical book in the bookstore. Guys, this is perfect. Instead of just saying, there's a bookstore, there's pictures, there's a canoe, all of those things connect back to the audience and what they will like about it. Like, I honestly feel like these two sentences are just like a perfect example of synthesizing, because this author is connecting the ideas that they read in the reading. They're including those things in their summary, and they're always going back to the audience and what their audience will like about it. And even this one is super cool because it's not like in the Indian Museum it said, you can learn all about Indian women and what Indian women did. It's not that clear. This author just made that connection, right? Ooh, here are some of the things that Indian women did, baskets and jewelry. My daughter, my granddaughter, she might like some of those things. So she might like to see what Indian women did. I just think it's a great example. And again, I'll just repeat myself. It's a short paragraph. It's not like this author had to write 500 words to do it, right? You just have to make sure that those sentences where you connect to the audience are super clear. Questions about these examples?
No, these are completely perfect. Yeah, I have I have it so much idea, but I never use that in my summary. Yeah.
You can. Now's the time. You're free. Yeah. You're free. You're free.
Yeah, I know.
And again, a lot of people did this. All of you guys are great students. If you took W40, you're used to just writing summary, right? You're not used to connecting and synthesizing. So this isn't a problem, right? Like, it's why I also have, I designed this class so that you can revise. Not, only 3 or 4 or 5 people have a first draft like this, to be honest with you, right? Most of you guys have 3 summaries that aren't connected yet. That's fine. That's why I show you examples and tell you when you revise. Most of my comments for you guys were, hey, connect back to the audience in your summary paragraph. As soon as you do that, the paper is going to get better, the grade's going to get better, and you grow because you learn how to do it. There's no other way to do it other than to do it. You just have to do it. So, questions?
Yes, Professor, I have a quick question.
Yes.
My question is regarding the thesis statements. Sometimes
Sure.
the thesis statement in the really last sentence, and sometimes I see the thesis like 2 sentences or 1 sentence above the really last one. So how it work, if you can give me a little bit of information on that.
Yeah, I mean, for now, for W50, the easiest way, the best way to make your life easy and not give yourself a headache is to just think your thesis is the last sentence of your introduction. Now, like I said earlier, it gets more complicated than that when you go to 300, right? What if you have a 2-page long introduction section of a 10-page paper? It gets more complex. But for us, if you're writing only 5 paragraphs, keep it simple. Just keep that last, or let's say this then, Faridan. How about the last 2 sentences of your introduction, right? If you have kind of like a big idea or a complex idea, you can have like thesis part 1, thesis part 2, but make sure again, they're at the end of your introduction.
Okay. But in the another example that you show us, that was like even for this one said there are many museums and parks where teenagers can see wonderful things.
I agree. I understand completely, right? So in this example, could we move this sentence here, right? Could we move? I would rather offer her a few places to go. Actually, I will describe just 3. There are many, like you totally could move some of this around, right? But again, you don't have to. So that's why I'm saying keep your life easy at W50. Keep your life easy, right? Your thesis is the last sentence of the introduction. When you feel more comfortable, when you feel maybe more joy, more fun, you like to write a little bit more. Maybe you love it already, I don't know. But then we can start playing, right? Like how do you move your thesis around? And so that's great, go there. But for now, when you write assignment 3, Faridan, just make your life easy, follow, let's say the last 1 or 2 sentences in your introduction. Yeah. I think it's good to learn the rule first, then break the rule. Do you know what I mean? Like learn the rule first, get comfortable with the rule, then start to play after that,
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Other questions about this paper or really about project 2? I want to make sure that you guys know what to do for your revision. No, Jeff, we're done. I support being done. 2 hours of Zoom. We had Zoom yesterday too. Okay. If you guys don't have any questions, that's what I've got for today. Now, I know Nasreen, people, so I'm going to be here. I can answer individual questions one-on-one, but if you're good, if you don't have questions about anything, you're good to go. And I will see you, a lot of you on Tuesday. If I look at the list, I will see many, many, many of you on Tuesday.
Questions regarding my grades.
If you've got personal grade questions, hang out with me a little while. Otherwise, we'll give people a minute or 2 to leave if they don't have grade questions.
It's private.
So yeah, if you've got grade questions, hang out a minute. If you don't, I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay.
Maybe everybody has grade questions.
Professor, have a good day.
Thank you, Mir. You too.
Okay. It's finished.
That's it. Yeah. If you don't have a grade question, bye-bye. I'll see you Tuesday. I know you're on Tuesday, Fada, so I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, see you Tuesday. Thank you so much for a lot of help.
My pleasure.
Also, we have a lot of questions about the measures, this measure, summary and synthesis. Could we talk on Thursday?
Yeah, about
I
your,
have to ask my question right now.
yeah, about your summary and synthesis. Yeah, sign up. Yeah, if it's a big question, go sign up for a writing conference.
Yes, I did. I signed on for Tuesday.
Perfect. And if it is something you don't want to wait until Tuesday, you can send me a text or send me an email. If it's a short question, I can send it sooner. But if you can't wait until Tuesday, that's going to be the best time to do it.
Yeah, because I want to revise my assignment. My paragraph is my summary is too long, so I have to short it and connect it to the audience more.
What I highly recommend, Lailuma, since we have time between Friday and Tuesday, if you can, revise it. Revise it. Sorry, there's like a sound coming from somewhere. It's driving me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna mute everybody.
Yeah, it's gone.
Revise and resubmit, Lailuma. Revise and resubmit based on what you think I'm saying, because then your score will go up for the second draft already. And then on Tuesday, when we talk, we can talk about your revised version. So even if you don't understand everything I'm telling you to do your best, resubmit, get more points, and then we can talk about your second draft. That'd be
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, for personal learning, I learn a lot of, and my score is going high. Thank you.
exactly right. And if you can't do that, or if you don't have time, that's totally fine too. But if you do, that's what I would suggest.
Yes, I will revise my work, and on Tuesday we will, I'm gonna show and we will talk about it.
I'll be there.
Thank you so much.
Of course, bye, Lailuma.
Bye.
Ivan,
Bye, Professor. Bye-bye.
Bye, Farah. Ivan, you have a
Bye.
question?
Bye, dear Professor.
Bye, everybody. Everyone's leaving. Bye. Yeah, hold on, Khadija. Ivan, you have a question?
I have a couple of questions, but I think my English is not good. And if I have questions, I will.
I think you're just saying bye, Ivan. So great to see you. You can unmute yourself. I wanted to make sure I could hear Ivan.
Professor, can I ask you?
Yes, go ahead, Irina.
I didn't get feedback about my project one. I think I missed it, yeah?
I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it right now. I thought I might be able to do it before we had class right now, but I did not have time. It's like open on a tab on it's open in my Chrome right now. I will do it today so that so we can talk about it.
And then yesterday I did already 17 and I can resubmit. I can do it again, yeah?
Yeah, you can. I will, if you want to, yes, you can. And if you want to wait to resubmit, like I said, when you were saying, what will I be this weekend? My goal is on Monday, everything in Canvas is graded. So you can wait until I grade 17, or you can redo it again right now. It's up to you. It's up to you. But I'm gonna get these lessons done fast.
Okay. I agree. Thank you.
Yes, Khadija. She's muted. I see hands. Parwana, Zabi.
Sir, I have a question about my project too.
Yes. And this is what you were saying, the computer, you and Parwana and the wrong Canvas account and stuff like that?
Yeah, I submitted first, then she mistakenly submitted to my Canvas her essay, and I think you graded her essay to me too. So, my score is a little bit lower. Can we like redo or?
So Zabi, which one is yours, Zabi? Is this one the one that I graded?
First is mine, second is her.
Got it. Okay. There are many famous places around the world. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I can write a note. I still like papers the most, you guys, but I can do a little text note here. Zabi. Okay, Zabi draft 1, feedback and grading for major writing project 2. I'll look at it and give you feedback on that one.
Okay, yeah. So I also have a question.
Sure.
Excuse me, Professor. I have a question about my learning plan, personal plan. I didn't sum my mistake, so I can't. I mean, you didn't highlight my mistake, so I can't write the second draft.
Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, there's So if you're not sure what to do part 101, we can find a time, but so the structure is, this looks nothing like, so here's what it should look like. I'll just go, no, not Zabi, but let's see. So here's Khadij's last draft, right? There's the headers, there's the bullet points, there's all these different examples of sort of what, let's see. Here's what Samira's looks like, right? So just the structure of your essay it doesn't look like this genre, right? And then the other thing that I did is this note. I know this is from like a month ago now, but here are the things that I want you to work on and revise and resubmit. So the most important thing to do is to just change the structure, make it look like the personal learning plan genre. That'd be the first thing to do, because we can't really even talk about sentences or grammar or anything until you have the right structure.
Okay. And also in activity 12, I answered 3 questions. My answer is right, but my score is 0.
I'll go back and grades it for some of those early lessons. I know people are catching up and doing them at different times. I will get there. This was lesson 12 you're talking about? I see people chatting. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah's just saying goodbye, everybody. And then I know Nasreen has her hand up. So after, Nasreen, you're next after Parawana. Lesson 12. This is the type of thing I think we'll be doing a lot in the last week. Oh yeah, I see. Okay. Okay, got number 12.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Anything else, Zabi and Parwana?
And in activity 4, my point is so low. If I resubmit it, it will be.
I would say, honestly, Parwana, we should talk one-on-one because there's still a lot of students here, but honestly, you have so much stuff to do that I would not waste my time redoing activities. You need to do the stuff you haven't done yet.
Okay.
That's my suggestion. You don't have to take it, but that's my suggestion.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Of course. And yeah, okay. Nasreen, you still there? You wait. So patient.
Yeah. Hi, Professor.
Hey.
Just I have a short question, and it's confusing to me. You show us the 2 topic at the almost. You said that's the best topic, and about the synthesis and summary project. And we have to write the summary and synthesis project like I want to do resubmit again. And here's a question. So I read the information and instruction. We have to choose the purpose, audience, or other one, and we have to put the 3 like a place, California State Indian Museum, and the other 2 in the summary. So we have to do summary these 3 location, and we don't need it to do synthesis. And after we have to do conclusion, correct?
Correct.
And one more question, we have to do like the last lesson 13.
We have to do the last lesson. Is your question just how to do lesson 13 or?
Here's a question, how we can start at the first one?
How to start this lesson 13 activity? Is that the?
No, how I can start the summary and synthesis project at the first one, like we needed to put information about these 3 places, or just we have to do summary about these 3 places.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
so if you, these are the 2 examples that I showed of, these are student examples where the students are getting A's already, right? So
Yeah.
here's one example, right? Like, would you like if our Russian granddaughter will discover interesting places? So this student began the introduction by talking about their audience, right? Like they focus on the audience and who they're writing for. This student did what a lot of you guys did, which is great. You focused on Sacramento and California, right? Like, oh, Sacramento's so wonderful. There's so many things to do. People love to visit California. So how you start your introduction, you could choose a different way to do that. But what you need to do is introduce the idea of Sacramento, of museums, of people visiting. Those are the kind of ideas that you need to get in your introduction paragraph.
Okay, so we have to do like this 2 topic, but my own writing, correct?
Exactly.
And one more question. So can I see these 2 topic for information, how they are doing and like the rule, and we can try my best to write my own writing, because I see this writing when you do information for us, but I want to read all information, how she's doing.
Tricky. Yeah, I thought about that. Should I give you guys access to student examples?
Because it's really good, and when someone write this information, the idea and something is coming, and we can focus more, and we can write my own writing. And really, I didn't do copy or something. Just I want to read them.
That's the thing. Is like, yeah. Let me think about it, Nasreen. I'm not sure. You have this video, right? I showed you these videos. Like, there'll be like a 15 or 20 minute part of this video where you just see these documents. So maybe just watch those 15 minutes a lot. I get nervous about posting total examples like this, right? Because I know, I do trust you guys. It's not that you're going to copy and paste
I know.
other students' writing, because I would know. It's just, sometimes I think examples are good to see, but I think sometimes when we stare at examples too long, we feel like it prevents our own creativity. So it's a balance. Let me think about it.
Okay.
But no matter what, Nasreen, you have this in this video, right? You can see these essays in this video anytime.
Because really, when I read this, when you give us information, it's helpful a lot for me. And I know, like before, I don't know how I can make the project, and right now I know how it's working, and how I can try my best for this project. But I will finish before 29 Wednesday, and I will resubmit it. So
good.
Yeah.
And you're right. I also totally agree. Examples are very helpful. They really are. Especially seeing other student examples is really, really helpful. So let me think about, if I do post these example essays, I'll post them. I'll send out a message in Canvas if I do decide. So let me think about it a little bit. It's a very good and a very fair question.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Nasreen.
So, Professor,
Excuse me, Professor.
Thank you so much for information. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, Nasreen. And thank you for your patience. I know we'll finally get to do a one-on-one. So thank you. I'm sorry we had to find a different.
I will be waiting in 30 July.
I'll be there.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. So I think Irina or Katie, Khadija, I know I'll come back to you. But I think Irina or Katie, do you guys have questions?
Professor, do you have the best example like project 2 for project 1?
I think I did show one of them.
When you will give me feedback, you can like show me for some example.
That's what we should, I was going to say, that's what we can do. Or you know what, when I give you feedback today, I'm going to do, I already have it open, but maybe I'll just do it that way, Irina. When I leave you feedback for the first project, I can just show you an example. Like I'll take a screenshot or take a picture of sort of what the structure looks like.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Of course. Katie, you have a question, or are you just hanging out?
I have one question.
Okay. You want to go now or you want to wait?
I can wait.
Okay. Khadija, you're up. What's up?
Yeah, Professor, I didn't receive any grade from assignment number 30, 40, and 50 as well.
Correct.
Yeah, I didn't receive any comment from
No,
somebody assigned this project.
no one did yet. No one did yet. I'm still catching up.
Okay, but my grade is come down very decrease.
Yeah, I'm sure the decrease is from project 2, right? So if make sure you understand my comments on project 2, make sure that you feel comfortable revising and resubmitting project 2, because that's way more important than the lessons. The lessons are only 15 points, right?
I'm not sure that you received my assignment or not. That assignment number 30. I think I sent 2 times.
No, I see it. It's just they're not graded, right? Like all of these just mean I still have to grade them. So yeah, you don't have grades for 13, 14, 15, 16. I've got them. I haven't graded them yet. But I will.
Okay, bye, Professor, for everybody. Bye.
Bye, Irina.
See you next week.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Cool. Who else? What other questions?
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, Kadisha.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
See you. Fazia, are you still there? Do you have a question? Anything you want to put in the chat? I think Katie's waiting. Katie wants to be at the end, I think.
My question.
Yeah. Fazia, if you can, I hear you totally, Faridan. Fazia, if you can hear me and you're there, type in the chat. I'm watching the chat too, okay? But we'll see if Fazia is still here. Yes, tell me, Faridan.
My question is regarding assignment number 12.
Okay. $10, $11, $12. Yes. Yeah, what about it?
There is 3 questions that should be missing. The first one, the south of England is warmer than the north.
Yeah, this is just Canvas will check every capital letter, every sentence, the Swiss Alps.
And there is 3 questions. The other one, I think there is mistake on the
answer. Yeah, there is. So number 15 is incorrect. You did miss the President of the United States lives in the White House. So no points for that one. But yes, the other 2 I fixed. So you're up to 14 now. So 3 of them I fixed.
Okay, thank you. And there is also a few assignments that show me that it's not been graded yet, like
Correct.
what I doubt.
That's what Khadija was saying. Yeah. So there's just, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, that's okay. Take your time. I know it's busy time. As I'm working hard on it to finish everything, I submit probably today or tomorrow the 2 more assignments, the cause and effect project and the other one.
Good. You have time for cause and effect, Faridan. So I'll also, I know I need to give you feedback too. I'm going to write that down. So you and Irina for project 1. I'm going to write this to start. These are the things I'm going to start with. Got it. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, so there is no due date, but August 4th is the last day. So keep an eye on your grade. Keep an eye on how much you can do and how fast you can do it. And just do your best. Because you see, I mean, everybody's in a different place, right? Like some students haven't even done lesson 13 yet. So it's just, online is a different thing, right? Like hardly anyone's done these. So we're just all in different places. We're kind of slowly catching up.
For sure. Thank you very much.
Of course.
I'll finish all of it and submit it probably next Tuesday. When we come back, probably if I have a question, I'm asking at that time.
Please, sounds good.
very much. I do appreciate it.
Of course, my pleasure. So I didn't hear from Fazia. I think Parwana, I'm not sure if they're still there. So Katie, I don't know if anyone is still here, but you wanna go for it?
Yeah.
Tell me, what's up?
Good day.
Oh, Parwana is still there. Parwana, I'm gonna mute you and talk to Katie. I'm gonna talk to Katie. We can talk again if you want to after. Okay, bye, Fadidan. Oh, Fazia is here. Okay, Fazia, if you do have a question, hang out a second. I'm gonna talk to Katie first. Katie, what's up?
It's a 101 question.
21?
101 question.
Okay, you wanna wait? Hold on, let's do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait when everybody can ask you if it's
Okay,
not.
you wanna wait till the end? Okay, great. Oh, let me do this. Fazia, you can hear me. Do you have a question for me, Fazia? I'm waiting for Fazia to type, you guys. Got it. Yeah. You want to send it to my email, Fazia? If it's a Word document, you can just email the document to me, or you can send it to me as a comment in the assignment page. Great. Yeah, email, or you could just submit it in the assignment, whatever is easier for you. This is weird where I'm talking. Thank you. Where I'm talking and reading what Fuzzy is saying, and the text is very strange. Fazia, do you have any other questions? Fazia? Awesome. Okay. Text or email me if you need anything, Fazia. Otherwise, I'll read I'm going to put that on the list too. So I'll do this today. I'm going to be at the computer a lot today. So I'll check your outline. Cool. Great. Parwana, Zabi, you guys have questions?
Excuse me, Professor. I want to say, in activity 4, my point is so low. If I submit it again, it will high and or.
Yeah, I think this is like I was saying though, right? Like you have so much stuff to do. I really don't think, I think it's a better use of your time to do, start lesson 13, 14, 15, 16. I think that's a better use of your time. I really do.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's my suggestion.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Of course.
Bye.
You too, Fazia. All right. What's up?
All right, so I can sign in for the one-on-one meeting again on Tuesday and Thursday. If there are any chance like you can.
Of course.
Get another time.
Yeah. What's better?
Just a second. I will close my window. Yes.
You'll receive it.